Hi there, this is Missy from Missy Hay Collective in Kimberley, BC, and I'm going to show you how I took this old piece and turned it into this beautiful, unique piece. The main feature here was a Roycycled Decoupage Paper, super vintage, and I went with that super vintage look. The colors I chose were pulled from the decoupage paper. I started out with mint chip from Debi's DIY paint, and I added salt wash. I wanted lots of texture on this. So I first added the salt wash layer, which you can put on anything. This stuff sticks to anything. This was like a melamine looking. It was going to be hard to paint, so I thought the salt wash base in mint chip would be the perfect place to start. The next step was to take another layer of paint over top of that salt wash mixture of mint chip and salt wash, and I chose Haint Blue, the Jamie Ray Vintage color from Debi's DIY. And then once that was dry, I added Pedal Pusher over top and blended in. I did a thin coat because I really wanted all the colors to show through, and then I let that dry. I got a little bit impatient, so then I had to take my hairdryer to it. I was getting really excited to see what this was going to look like once I was done. After that was fully dry, the next day I went in and I started to apply my Roycycled Decoupage Paper. I cut it to fit perfectly on the little cupboard of this little bench, and then I started with one end, and I use Fusion Decoupage Medium for this. So I do like to spritz with a mister my decoupage paper, and then I do have a felted little spatula that helps me smooth everything out. I do often take my IOD brayer also to smooth everything out, and then I finish with a top layer over top of the decoupage paper with the medium again. Again, getting impatient, so I took my hairdryer to it, and it works like a charm. Once the decoupage medium is fully dried, you can take a 220 sanding block to your edges, and that decoupage paper comes off really easily on the edges. Once I was done my sanding, I really wanted to add some more antiquing aging to this, so I chose Debi's DIY Paint Dark and Decrepit and some decrepit dust, but in the rust color that has yet to be released. I don't know if it's ever going to be released, but I did get a sample of it. So here I am going in, starting with the Dark and Decrepit really watered down, and just putting it on with a brush and taking my mister and blending. Once I get it on with the brush and it is watered down, I almost do like a bit of a one-to-one mixture of the decrepit dust with a wet brush, and then I just get it on there, and then I start spraying and letting it all just kind of drip down over those layers of salt wash, just giving some authentically looking aging to this piece. The key is definitely your mister, and definitely really watered down. Embrace those drips. Those drips are going to, especially once they dry, really start to make your piece look really authentically aged. And all of the bumps and texture of the medium, of the mint chip and the Haint Blue, along with the pedal pusher over top, really just add to the effect of this. So then I take a damp shop cloth. I'll often just blend, really getting rid of any sharp lines and making it look like a really organic, authentic look. The final phase was using some of this decrepit powder. Now this is a rust powder that I don't think has been released by Debi's DIY Paint yet. I did just get a sample of it, and I've been using it on a few different things. The way decrepit dust works is you apply with clear wax, and then you add the dust in, and then you just kind of burnish it in with the wax, and you get this beautiful rusty look. You can do this with the decrepit dust dark as well, and look at the age that I was getting on this piece. So I took an old cheap melamine piece and some Debi's DIY paint products, some salt wash, and a Roycycled decoupage paper, and this is what I came up with. These are the products that I sell in my store and on my website, www.missyhaycollective.com.